Hey guys, what's up? What it do? I am excited to be here today again. Um, I am. I've had a long day, but I'm still grateful to be here. So sometimes you're like, I don't know, but I'm actually happy to be here. I'm glad y'all come in to talk with me, and so we can get this thing going. Hey mom, hey Londa girl, you back again? 2 days in a row. Um, yeah, I really am feeling like I'm glad that I'm at this part of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the natural progression of the day. I'm glad I'm back at this day. I told you I was gonna put these hats on. Now, if anybody who know me, I got a few hats. Now I can figure out that I can fit them over my hair. You ain't gonna see. You ain't gonna be able to tell me a thing now. I can fit them over my hair now. So I thought it was done with it, but I can fit them. So yeah, I don't care what y'all think about them either. But I hope you like them. But I'm not gonna stop wearing them if you didn't. But if you know me, you know understand why. Oh, I love you. I love that you love them. I'm glad that you can get something from them. Listen, okay, so for people who are new to my show or have been here before, the one thing I say that I love is that I've always understood that you can shift part of your life by being in the right conversations. There have been things that I've learned in a conversation that have changed my life. And so for me, it's always being able to go and have different conversations with different people. That's why I'm so into traveling, y'all. Y'all just think I just like to go places. I'm into traveling because you can be around people that are not like you, different places, understand things that they think are important and cherish, and the things about their life, and you can get a better grip and understanding about you, and you can learn something. That's the most important thing. You can learn something right here. Oh, you said I look good. You follow me on TikTok, girl. I saw you doing your TikToks too. You better get it. I listen. I'm all about learning something new every day. TikTok, I didn't know anything about it, and I'm trying to learn and figure out things. And social media is a way to reach a different demographic of people. I know I just talked about how social media, it too much of social media definitely can affect your life and how your mental health. So we definitely want to be careful not to um, overuse it. But I definitely believe that it is a tool to help us in a lot of things. Um, so just in case you guys saw what my live is about today, I know you're probably thinking, here we go, Paris. I was just choosing something. And I promise y'all, it's a rhyme and a reason to what I talk about, right? Um, and girl, I understand that's a tragedy that I can't imagine. But I told my one friend that, the way to think about that is that um, your loved one that passed away, they would hate to know that you are living life less now that they're gone. I know we think we do an honorarium of them, but they would say, Dad, I don't want you to live life less. Actually, I would want you to live it more in my memory. In my memory, I want to know that you took trips and enjoyed yourself. And then, say, I'm doing this because of my mom. I'm doing this because of my, loved one. Just think about that. I'm not trying to push you another way, but that's another way of looking at it, right? I know is very hard when you're trying to cope with something like that, but if you had to think about it, will my mother want me to not go on trips because she's not here? And the answer, I'm thinking, if she loved you at all, she would absolutely say, no, please do that, because I want you to still be happy and live your life. But anyway, I digress. I just saw that. I just thought I should say but let's see. So today I was like, you know what, I was listening to a podcast I listened to, and they were talking about friendships. They brought a scenario up about friendship, and I was like, I used to love like those Dear Debbie letters. I think these called Dear Debbie, and I always like those scenarios because sometimes these things will come up and they seem like they're just so far away, but these are people's lives and things do happen and things are weird and you don't necessarily know how to deal with it because it's not a cut and dry answer, right? There's never just a one right answer, right? It's not white or black. It's a lot of gray areas in there. You can choose how you deal with a situation. I know you guys have heard like on certain shows like the Strawberry Letter and different things where people talk about different, people's stories as well. and I'm always interested in stuff like that, listening to certain things. But I also see, and I scroll through my timeline and I look at different people's posts. And my cousin put a post up here the other day, and um, it sparked some thoughts in my head from the conversation I had just saw. And one of the things was is that I hope not to ever be put in a position where I have to tell someone how I want to be treated. Shout out to my cousin Melvin, love you, cuz. And I it started my mind into going. And one of the things that it reminded me of, even though there's no cut and dry way on how to do any relationship, people are different, relationships are different. There are a lot of hidden things. There are a lot of things that a lot of factors that you don't take into account. And you literally don't realize that everybody doesn't necessarily know. And so I did a series, I believe it was in March. I think it was in March, about healthy relationships and what it looks like. And you know what I was thinking about? I said, the holidays are coming up. This is the end of the year, just the last 3 months of the year. Um, Thanksgiving is coming up, Christmas coming up. Most people spend that time with their family and friends. And when a New Year's comes up and everybody says new you, new me, all these things. And the one thing I wanted to say is that I really believe that we need to talk more about relationships and the things that we don't automatically just know. Okay. And then then the things you think you know and you don't realize is probably not the healthiest way to deal with something. And talking about this more so that we can do these things right. It's not time to cut everything off, everybody off, move on, or be lonely thinking that people hate you or don't like you. And you just realize that you guys probably did not know how to model a healthy relationship or always know what to do when certain things came on. So I feel like this is a good time to revisit. Remember, I told you we just finished the anxiety series, and I said, what can I go into that's going to be beneficial? And I think in this moment in time, I want to really dig into relationships again. And healthy relationships, and what to do. And maybe let's even do some I want to get really creative, talk about certain scenarios and certain things, and I think it's going to be really good. So I'm excited about it. Hey, JC. So yep, healthy relationships, do you know what it looks like? I think sometimes we just assume we know, or I think we're in a world that's so scary that everybody wants to, they rather pretend that they're healthy than actually be healthy. I'm gonna put that on the shirt. Let's be healthy for real and stop just trying to look healthy. Let's be whole for real and stop just trying to look whole. Y'all, if y'all take it, y'all better give me my money for it. Let's do the work. I'm tired of looking like I have it together and don't actually have it together. Sometimes people say, "Oh, if you can't, do it, fake it till you break it, make it." And that's absolutely true. But how long do you gonna fake it? Right? How long do we fake it? It's some people that's been faking it for years. It's some people that literally rather look like they got it together than have it together. And I hear people say, don't let them sweat. Don't let them see you fall. People just love to do this. Listen, let me tell you something. I think it's time out for the graphics, the visuals, for how it looks. Forget it. I don't care. You could think I'm a mess, but if I know that I'm whole and I know and I know I'm living a healthy lifestyle, and I know that I'm doing things to the best of my ability, and I'm actually trying to grow and learn, then I don't care what you think, right? And that's what I'm trying to say, the optics. Okay. Who cares about the optics? The optics are, they are made of a lot of things that you're not aware of. And I want us to work more on getting it right than being right, or getting it right than looking like we have it right. Okay. And so I want us to I want us to live healthy lives. And I know sometimes people be like, nobody got my back. I came on this earth by myself. I'm leaving this earth by myself. If I need something, I can't really count on anybody. So I'm self-made. I don't need nobody to do nothing. Let me tell y'all something. I have said some of those things before, and I'm not beating anybody down who has said it, but let me tell you something. That stuff comes from hurt. That stuff comes from past experiences. When you've been hurt, you're quick to say, I don't need anybody. I don't need anything. And trust me, most of it is a defense mechanism. And I've been there, done that. Oh, especially after a break, I'm like, I don't need nobody right now. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? If that's what help look like, I'm straight. I don't even want that. I'm good. If that's what help look like, yeah, no, I'm cool. And the thing is that part of it makes sense because that's you protecting yourself. Like once you've gotten real, like, you know what I'm saying, like your heart broken or somebody's crossed you or a friendship went wrong, it is the first thing you're going to do is just protect yourself. Like when somebody hits you in the face, they shouldn't be able to hit you in the face again. After the first time they hit you in your face, if they sneak dish you or sneak punched you, it gets to a point where you have to cover your face and realize, wow, okay, I'm under attack and I don't like that feeling. So I'm going to block it, right? And the same thing when somebody hurts you and they cut you severely, in a literal way, sometimes in a figurative way, not literal, but sometimes in literal ways. And I've seen certain situations go bad that way. You literally have to protect yourself. You have to put yourself on guard so that you can heal while 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 you're in that situation. You don't want anybody to attack you while you're healing. And that's perfectly fine. But what I want to talk about is what happens once your heart is healed or once you have went through the process. And what does it look like to heal? What does that look like? What does that process look like? How long is it supposed to take? Or do you just become somebody who say, I don't ever want anybody around me anymore because I just don't want to open up again? I've had too many people cut me. My best friend from 20 years ago cut me. My husband cut me. My girlfriend cut me. Heck, my kids done cut me. I don't want nobody else. And I'm going to challenge you today to understand that we are on this earth relationally, meaning that we are here and we are meant to be in relationships with people. A lot of times people don't even get that. And I'm not talking about romantic relations. I'm talking about relationship, period. You should have parental relationships if you have your parents in your life still, or you have children, relationships with your children, or you should have friendships, acquaintanceships, uh, and even if you want to have a romantic relationship under your terms, those are the type of things you want. But one of the most important things is friendships. You should have people that you do really trust with your heart and trust with um, your being. And sometimes we don't know what that looks like when we've been in a lot of toxic relationships, right? So that's why I want to talk about healthy relationships. People think their relationship is healthy just because, oh, I know how to do this, but they don't realize society does not model healthy relationships. A healthy relationship is just not going on a vacation. A healthy relationship is not just, oh, it's us going on a girls trip or going to the mall. It's so much more to it. It's so much more you have to put into it, and we don't talk about it enough. And we don't talk about it enough, and we think people should know. And what I'm here to tell you is that you have to assume that anybody that you're going to be in a relationship with, again, friendship, acquaintanceship, whatever, you have to assume that they don't know what healthy looks like. Remember, we talked about expectations. We talked about not walking into a situation and having silent expectations. You say, well, they should know how to do this or they should know this. And and like I said, when my cousin put that post up, I responded, and it wasn't in a way to, let them know that that's wrong. It was more so in a way to, I know a lot of people, don't think about the fact that I used to think this. I used to say it all the time. I shouldn't have to tell him how to be the man. I shouldn't have to tell her how to be a friend. She know what she did was dirty. He know what he did was wrong. And no matter how wrong or right I think I am, what you have to understand is that you cannot assume what people know. And not only can you not assume it, but you need to state it. Let's not make people guess. Let's not make people be mind readers. And then let's not have these expectations we hold people to, and they don't even know that they're there. I've been in relationships where there were expectations that were never spoken and I didn't know. And so, like, to me, this is what being a friend was. This is what trust like. And to them, they didn't care nothing about that. To them, this is what a friend looked like. This is what trust looked like. And so we were on two different governing sides of this thing. I'm sitting here thinking I was really providing them with my love language, how I like to be dealt with. And they didn't care nothing about that. But when it comes to them, they didn't tell me how it was. And therefore, I wasn't fulfilling it. And so we were missing each other. We were completely missing each other. And at first, I blamed that person. You should have told me, you should have told me, you should have told me. And I still sit on that. However, I am now being completely, I'm being so open and vulnerable because I feel like intimacy is a lost act, even in friendships. And I feel like we are not honest enough. We're not transparent enough. I want to come in and tell you what things I've dealt with. Like if you just came out of a bad relationship, and you have some trust issues, you might want to tell somebody, hey, I'm really looking forward to getting to know you. But let's be honest, I'm starting to learn to build trust. So if I seem like it takes a little bit more for me, please be patient with me and let me know if that works for you. If it doesn't work for you, I'm okay with that. But I need to let you know that up front so that you're not offended because of what the pace I'm using is right now. You're not offended because I don't attach right away. You're not offended that I'm actually needing a little bit more before I go all in. See, these are the type of conversations we can have. And these are things that we weren't necessarily taught. So this is why we're here in this forum, so we can talk and we can figure it out. Yolanda, you said you're healing now. I know, sis, and it's so hard to try to go on a new relationships while you're healing. I don't suggest it. Take as long as you need to heal. Because that's another thing. We don't heal all the way, or we think we can heal with another person, or we can think we can heal, by jumping into another situation. And a lot of times you just need to sit back and really take time to fix it. Because depending on how long were you in a relationship with that person, that's a big gaping wound. And you have to literally take time. If you ever had a real big wound, it takes a long while for it to heal up. So it's not even, you want to get to the point where it's so healed that it's not tender to the touch. And you want to get to a point that it's not a point where it's like, you can touch it and it's like, ow, ow. That's how you know it's not done. So you definitely heal up. That's necessary. And there's nothing wrong with it. Don't let people push you before you're done healing. But just keep accountability for you so you don't sit in a place of grief, right? That's something too. I'm going to talk about that another day too, because that's a touchy thing. Grief is it's so complex, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. And everybody has their different lengths and time periods. So it's kind of hard for me to talk about that because I don't want it to seem like a one size fits all. But at least I feel like in this relationship thing, even though I'm not telling people how to be in a relationship, I am trying to point out some things about healthy relationships, toxic relationships, ways to deal with things, and things that a relationship is comprised of, so we can understand. I love that you said, you said stop assumptions, and hold verbal conversations. Absolutely correct. That's exactly what I'm saying. Too many times we assume people should know. We should say, oh, they know me. They know me. Stop that. Stop that. Let's be grown-ups. What do you tell your 3-year-old? Use your words. Use your words. If you're grown and all that, use your words. We don't have to be out here. I tell people nowadays, I'm not trying to guess what you like. And guess what? Anybody in a relationship with me shouldn't have to guess. I'm very verbal. I'm going to tell you. I promise I am. Because I don't want no problems. I don't want no misunderstandings. Like in this point in my life, you might think I like certain type of things. If I don't like it, I'm not going. See, the younger me would suffer through a lot of stuff. And don't get me wrong, we make compromises for all type of situations. But sometimes some things are just because you're not willing to speak up. Some things are just because you are afraid of confrontation. And all confrontation is not toxic or bad. So that's sometimes what people's problem is too. They don't want a confrontation, or they don't even want a conversation. Everything, confrontations don't mean negative. You don't have to have a negative connotation to confrontation. I can say, hey, let's discuss this. Because I don't necessarily agree, or hey, I don't like this, and it not become a thing where now we in battle with each other. We have to be able to have conversations where we can disagree and not completely call it quits or go into a shouting argument. I'm just telling you, y'all think everybody knows how to do healthy conversations, and it's not true. Y'all think people know how to have healthy relationships. It is not true. Every relationship, everybody has not been around a close model of a healthy relationship. And it is so evident just by some of the stuff. I mean, I read stuff on social media all the time. When I see videos and I see when people say, like, I see stuff that's supposed to be funny and it just makes me cringe. Like, they're like, oh, you know, I think it was the video where a guy um, saw a girl, um, and she was gonna go to the store, and I think she walked past somebody. Oh no! And he came out there. He was ready to fight and go off. And she's like, That's how I know my man loved me." And I'm just like, and it was just, it would listen. I'm not talking about him being a protective man. I'm talking about going over and above. It was like the jealousy thing, possessiveness thing, and it was like a lot of people was like, "Yep, that's how you know you got him, girl. That's how you do it, girl." And it was just even she was trying to test his love, and it became this thing. And I know we think some of this stuff is a joke, but a lot of people think that's serious. They govern themselves about that. Like, I've heard people tell me before, "You're not jealous enough for me." I've been told that. You're not jealous enough for me. And I just didn't understand that. Help me, help me, help me. So, because I'm not going crazy over the fact that I can't control you, and because I am giving you space to do what you're going to do, whether or not I'm looking or not, um, and because I'm not going to cry my eyes out and scream and get confrontational, means that I don't care about you or love you. And and at that moment I knew what I was dealing with, right? And I obviously didn't stay in that situation too long, but I realized that that's what a lot of people believe. They believe if you don't have certain traits, that you don't care. And you think the stuff is a joke until you see people really, really govern themselves this way. I'm sorry, it's not cute when somebody ready to fight every 2 seconds over someone. To me, I see something completely different. But we like to say, "Oh, that's cute, and that's how we do." That's okay. All right. But are we talking about what the real undertones of that means? Do we want to talk about connection? I mean, attachment disorders. Do we want to talk about that? Do we want to talk about rejection? Do we want to talk about the fact that they might feel like they might have an orphan spirit, or that they really just didn't get the attention they need from their parents, and therefore they attach to somebody else? I mean, like, let's talk about it. See, this is what I mean when people say, "Oh, I don't deal with social media issues." I mean, not social media. I don't deal with mental health issues. The reality is we all do. If you have a brain, you have mental health issues. We all deal with them every single day. Write down how your day went. I could tell you what was a mental health thing and how you had to think through it and you didn't think it was. It is every single day. Okay? Everything you do is a mindset thing. It requires you to think. Relationships are no less. Just because you literally sit up and talk to somebody all day, man, sometimes, let me tell you something. I'm just going to tell y'all something. The most painful breakup I ever had was not even a romantic relationship. The most painful breakup I had was a friendship. That was a long friendship, somebody I just really cared about and really was all in with. That was the most painful breakup I ever had. And I remember crying for months, for a long time, trying to get over that one. Because when you really are all in with somebody and then you don't know, and things go left, it really hurts. And I wasn't prepared for it, right? And I think sometimes you think, "Oh, me and this person don't even argue. We're good. We all this and that." And then all of a sudden a bomb drops. You like, wait, where did that come from? And let me tell you something. That relationship, I healed from that. Me and that person are good now. Not the same relationship at all, but are good now. And the one thing that I think I really completely learned from it was that no silent expectations. You need to speak up about what you want. You need to speak up about what you need. You need to speak up when something doesn't make you happy. And when you find yourself being secretive and not being transparent anymore, or you want to really tiptoe around somebody's feelings, you really need to know something's broken. And instead of keeping going to keep the peace, you need to say that we need to have a timeout and we need to have a conversation. Even if that conversation to you is going to be uncomfortable, the conversation needs to be had. And I'm guilty of this myself. I'm guilty of thinking like, everything seems so good. If I bring this up, I'm going to mess it up. And I'm telling you, the scariest thing you can do is be quiet about something and have silent resentment building. Baby, that thing, let me tell y'all something. That's the fastest thing that builds up. Quiet resentment, where you don't say something, you hold it in, you pretend like everything's okay, or you said it once and they didn't quite listen, but you say, I'm not gonna say it again, but you still are stewing inside. You're still mad, you're still upset. And so every day you pile it up. And see, what happens is that you are now in offense. And everything that they do just piles on top of it just piles on top. And in your mind, I'm keeping the peace because I don't want to argue. Every time we bring it up, we argue, or I don't want to keep on sounding like a broken record. But the quiet resentment is so dangerous because I'm telling y'all, it can go so left because usually it's really explosive. You ever heard of like what is called the straw that broke the camel's back? It's the idea that, I literally someone kept on, and I was, I explode because I couldn't take anymore. And they thinking, well, I just said this. It wasn't just you said that. It was all the other things that you continue to do. And now you are spilling the beans. You're telling them everything that they ever done because now you're so hurt that I can't even take it. And let me tell y'all something. I've done it. I've seen people do it. And that's what I'm saying. It happens. But what we want to do is focus on building healthy relationships and get to a point where we never have that happen again, because it truly isn't fair to either person. The person that you assume should know better and the person that you are, the person that you really want to be. Sometimes, yes, everybody can blow up, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I always tell people I am in control of myself. That's the only thing I'm in control of. And when I allow somebody to take me off my square, I have lost control. And I don't like to be controlled by other people. No. When I'm with somebody or around somebody, or I'm in relationship with somebody, or if I'm hanging out with them, I open myself to being around them. I open myself to compromising with them. I do concede to do things with them because I want to be around them. I want their company. So that's not control. You have to be very careful with the difference. Control is when you unwillingly give up your control. Unwillingly give up the right to say what you like or not. The difference between you being with somebody that you want to be with is that, I submit, I'm going to concede, I'm going to compromise because I want to, not because I have to. Want some definitions here? So, we just have to be very thoughtful about these things. And that's why I want to have these conversations, because we just think we know and we don't always know. And it's okay not to know. It is okay not to know. I'm tired of us looking like we have it together and we don't. Like I tell people all the time, just because you older don't mean you got it together. Look, I just turned 40 and I know a lot of older people than me that are not doing things in life right. And I'm not judging anybody. What I'm saying is, and me too, I am in a space where I am able to look at what I've done wrong and I'm trying to correct it. The difference is you don't want to be in a place in your life where you can never see what you've done and you're not trying to make active corrections. We have to reevaluate us, because guess what? Even if that person was completely wrong, you have to look at what you did. So if nothing else, even if you get out of a relationship with that person, what if you don't learn what you did? If you don't learn the lesson from a situation, you'll be right back in that situation. Not maybe with that person, but it could just be the person, a different person. It don't even matter. But if you don't learn the lesson from a situation, if you don't understand what you're supposed to learn from that moment and that season in your life, then you'll repeat it because you're going to be doing the same things, right? And that's where we got to talk about healing, completely learning the lessons. I have learned even some of my worst breakups. I'm able to go back and say, what did I learn? And then once I got through the lessons and really absorbed the lessons and understood what I could have done better and understood what signs came up and understood what when the breaking points were happening, I understood what the yellow flags were happening, and then understood what when the first red flag happened and the second red flag happened, and then I understood when I was carrying false burdens and when I let boundaries go and when I had silent expectations. When I realized all those things, and I was able to kind of take a grasp of the inventory of the situation and say, oh, that's why I went wrong. Oh, that's okay. Now I know that certain things that have happened will never get to be that far again, not because I closed my heart, but because I now know what I did. And guess what? Yeah, I can get out of a relationship with that person, but even if they were toxic, but I need to understand how to guard myself to never really get that deep in again with somebody toxic. Because again, that's your responsibility to guard your space. I can guard my heart, but I also guard my space, you know? So I love it. I'm gonna go back to some of the stuff you said. Yeah, Yolanda, listen, relationships is an important thing. We got to learn and grow every day, every minute of the day. Yes, that's why we have to meditate, pray, have affirmations, and manifest. Absolutely. I 100% believe in all of those things and making sure that you are at peace with yourself. But a lot of people don't even get that. They do all that to get peace with themselves, and then they are in a relationship that's not necessarily healthy, and then they see that stuff decline so quickly. And so we have to learn how to do that for ourselves and then protect our space so that we don't allow somebody to take our peace. Like, I'm not going to do all this work to be at peace with me and then allow you to take it because you're not healthy. No, sir. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, sir. No. I love you, but I'm going to love you from over there because you're not going to take my peace. Listen, y'all, I protect peace at all things. Listen, I also said I don't want to be confrontational, but I will if it's a necessary confrontation. Every confrontation is not a bad thing. Okay, we have to stop running from critical conversations. We have to stop running from conversations that are necessary. We have to stop it. You said that was me. Listen, it was all of us, Yolanda. Every single one of us have been in a situation where we didn't speak up, didn't say something. We thought we were keeping the peace, and then we exploded now because now it's just too much. And that's okay. But the thing is, it's about what do you do from here? Where do we go from here? How do we learn from where we're at? How do we take inventory of what's going on in our life and figure out how to put the pieces back together? What does that even look like, right? Let's see, some helpful. I'm not concerned. You said that's the thing. Some people are not thoughtful. They always judge and aren't concerned. Yeah, and that's the thing. We can't control how other people move, but what we can do is be more thoughtful and self-aware of ourselves and make sure that we're around like-minded people. And that's where you learn. Like, people say, oh, I always attract people that use me. Well, what about you is so depleted that you attract users? I'm just saying. That's the conversations we don't want to have. That's the talks we don't want to have. Someone says, I always attract cheaters. Okay. What about you says you can be with me and I want a relationship so much that I'm going to deal with you cheating? And when you do notice that, do you leave or are you there still? Because if you're there still, then you have taught the person that I'm okay with this. And therefore, even though it's wrong that they're doing it, you're an accomplice. You are helping them hurt you because you're staying there. So what about you thinks it's okay to go ahead and stay in a situation that's hurting you? See, these are the type of conversations that we have to have. These are the type of conversations with ourselves. This is the healing conversations need to have healthy relationships. And I just don't think we have these conversations enough. Everybody wants to obey. Everybody, it's Christmas time. Listen, y'all know what they call this right now. This is cuffing season. Y'all don't act like y'all don't know. This is cuffing season. It means it's time, if you single, to go ahead and get somebody to boo up with. Okay, it's about to be the holiday time. Nobody want to be alone on the holidays. It's getting cold. I need somebody to snuggle up with. I need somebody to Netflix and chill. I need somebody to go to Christmas holiday party with. I need somebody to go do this. I need somebody to go on a little cabin trip because I can't go by myself. Listen, been there, done that. And while you grown, you can do whatever you want to. This is the time that you need to really be thoughtful about who you are, what you want in your life, what you're putting out there. What are your homing signals? Like, what are you putting out in the atmosphere? I had to really look at one point when I kept attracting the same type of man. I had to figure out what was it I was doing that brought people to me that way. Or not even that. Let's go a little step further. Even if people came to me that way, why was I accepting things that I knew that I wasn't even willing to put up with? Why did I put up with it so long? It sounded kind of desperate to me. And that was me. I'm talking about me. I can't speak for nobody else. I started to realize that sometimes I felt lonely. And my loneliness caused me to put up with things that I really didn't or shouldn't have put up with, that I know better with. Or let's go a little further. I had to realize that I was somebody who was very empathetic and really care about people and what they went through and the struggles they went through. And sometimes I would see people's potential. Or I see what they can be. I know what they can do. And I would just see so many good things in them. And I wasn't seeing what was right in front of me. I was seeing what it could be and not what it was. And so I'm sitting here trying to build this person up to be who they are, but I'm not seeing who they are because I don't want to think of them in the lowest form of themselves. But then I had to realize, is this a project or is this the person I want to be with? Which one is it? And that's just talking about romantic relationships, but even let's just talk about regular relationships. Like in my friends, I've never been perfect. But I was always, I would say, I would like to believe that I was very much all in type of person with relationships I'm in. And so I expected the same thing. But again, what does that look like? What does that mean? And unless you have definitions on what your expectations are, you're going to miss the mark a lot. You're going to miss things. And people are going to be offended. People are going to be hurt. People are going to be in situations where they don't feel seen. They don't feel heard. They don't feel valued. And man, that's not a good place to be in. I see way too many people that rather be in relationship, no matter how toxic, no matter how draining it is, no matter how empty it is, no matter how lonely they feel inside the relationship. They rather be in it than not. And listen, this is not me saying, oh, break up with anybody who's not giving you what you need. No, what I'm saying is it's time to have expectations and voice them. And so if you're in a situation, if you are, and we all have relationships. So every single person that's listening to me, whether you're watching the replay, whether you're watching it live, guaranteed you are in a relationship right now. Whether it's with your child, whether it's with your parent, whether it's with a sibling, whether it's with your friend, whether it was with a spouse, whether it's with, I call acquaintanceships too. Like if you have friends at work, but they're not really friends, or if you have people that you in social settings and you see them in the social settings and you guys chat or talk then, or people that you catch up with every once in a while. These are people that you're in relationship with. And so I think we're more intentional and self-aware about how we present. A lot of times, if you realize how you present, you can fix most of the problem on your side. Even if the way you fix it is to say, okay, I've checked all the boxes of what a healthy relationships look like, and I'm doing everything I think I can do. Once you've gotten to that point, then you get to the point where let's have a conversation with this person to see what their expectations are, see what they want, see where they want to go with this, see what they think about. Listen, someone said something the other day. I loved it. They said when you're mature enough and you're really to really go to the next level with a relationship, you need to be able to say, hey, grade me. How good of a friend am I to you? And is there anything that I can do better? Is there anything that I can improve? And it's so funny because I never thought to say something like that, right? But what that is, it shows intentionality. It means that I want to be better. I want this friendship to be better. I want this whatever relationship to be better. And maybe I think I'm doing a great job, but guess what? If I dress myself and I think I'm great and I go outside and realize that I got it all wrong, I might have to go inside. Like if I thought it was going to be a sunny, nice day, 90 degrees, and I got shorts on and a little shirt, and then I go outside and it's snowing, okay, I got it wrong. Now I got to go back in and change. Same thing. I could be thinking I'm doing everything right in this friendship, relationship, whatever. And then if I check with you and realize that you feel abandoned, you feel ignored, you feel this and that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now let's figure out what we can do. Let's make a plan. Let's talk about it. And it doesn't have to be confrontational, even if you don't agree. It doesn't have to be confrontational. It's a matter of us having the conversations. Because I do care enough about this relationship where I'm going to put myself out there. Most people won't ask that question because they don't want to put themselves out there. And I'm not saying it's easy. Trust me, I'm just starting this. Because I'd be like, what? I'm not going to do that because I don't know what they can say. But it becomes to a point where do you want to be right or do you want to be in a right standing relationship? And if the second is true, you want to be in a right standing relationship, then if you really do believe that you're doing what you need to do right and you're in a purposeful relationship with this person, you need to have a conversation and sit there in the truth while they tell you and listen and not respond unless you asking, okay, all right, what does that look like? What does the healthy part of that look like? And then, you do vice versa, tell them what they could be doing better. Now that's if y'all really wanted to get it good. That's if y'all really want to. I mean, guess what? Every job has yearly evaluations because they want to check in. How do I see you doing? Are you doing well? They grade you and decide if you're going to be rewarded, if they want to keep you or if not. Right. And generally speaking, an evaluation shouldn't be a complete surprise. Like there should be things along the way for you to know if you're not having such a good year or if you're having, a really great year. There shouldn't be a complete surprise, but if it is, then let's talk about it. And then what do we do? I happen to be a manager, so I do evaluation. So what do we do to make this better? What are my expectations going forward if I don't see that you're doing a good job? And then what are your goals? What do you want? What do you want from me? What can I do better as your manager? What do you want to see? Because guess what? People that are not motivated to do something, they don't feel like they belong. They're not going to do the best of their ability. So what can I do to help you be the best you can be? That's how we should approach every relationship in our life as well. And we don't think that because it just seems so like cookie cutter. But I'm saying intentionality is everything. If you care, you'll do the work. So, y'all, this was just the beginning. I'm excited about this. We're going to hit on this again. I hit on it, like I said, a little bit in March. I want to give a definition real quick. And just in case you didn't know, sometimes we say stuff, we throw it out there and we don't really talk about what it looks like. Just so you know, healthy relationships involve 4 key things: honesty, trust, respect, and open communication. Honesty, trust, respect, and open communication. Those are the 4 things that it needs. And it takes effort and compromise. Effort and compromise. All of those things are necessary. And then we always have something we can work on. Listen, y'all, like I said, it's beginning of cuffing season. It's holiday time. Do y'all know how many people are suicidal and are depressed, severely depressed around the holidays? And then they start to think about their lost ones that they lost. We're in a pandemic. People are going to be, shut in when it gets a little colder. I know it. And, we really need to draw closer to our friends, and we need to know who our friends are. And if things are messed up now, let's talk about it. Let's get those conversations going so we can have the people that's supposed to be in our life. And if we don't have the right people, if we're getting rid of the people that are the wrong people, that's okay. Let's get healthy and start to be intentional about getting people in our life that align with our values. And a lot of times you can't get anybody new in your life because you don't even know what those values are. Let's make them plain. Okay? It's time now. I want us all to be in healthy relationships. I want us all to be supported. And there's nothing like having a healthy support system. It's nothing like being able to have people cheer for you. It's nothing like being able to have people look out for you and tell you when you're doing too much and helping you, hey, get some rest, sis or bro. So it's nothing like when you can call somebody and vent. It's nothing like when you can say, hey, did somebody call you up and say, hey, you've been stressed out. Let's go get something to eat or let's go do something to relax. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like when somebody call you and say, hey, sis, I think something going on with you. Let me pray for you. Y'all don't just say it's nothing like it. And so I want us to be in really good, healthy relationships, but we have to first start healing and understand what things we're doing that's healthy and not so healthy or toxic, and what relationships we're in now, and start just doing an evaluation so we can get it together. Okay, all together. We all get it together, right? And my goal is to help us to get there. So I think I'm gonna end it off here. I love you guys. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. If you're just not coming on, you can watch the replay. Is going to be put up very shortly, and you can comment. Let me know what you think. Please share this with someone. You don't know who might need it. People go through life, and honestly, we really don't talk about what we need because we want to pretend like we got it all together. But let's go ahead and let's talk about these things so we can heal and get better, and we can all like have real wholeness and real happiness, and really not be faking, not for the ground, not for the book, but like we really like radiate joy and radiate peace, and we're walking around, people like, why are you so happy? And it's because they see the natural real joy inside of you. That's what you want, and you only get that if you do the work. All right, love you too, Yolanda. Love you, girl. Appreciate you rocking out with me. I'm glad that you enjoyed it or got something from it. Please share this with people as well, because you don't know who can use it. You just don't know. And in my mind, every single person has a relationship, so we all need it on some level. So let's get it in. I love you guys. Don't forget, you are enough. You are enough to invest in being a healthy you and understanding what healthy relationships look like, so you can have healthy whole relationships, so you could be a healthy whole person. You deserve that. All right. I love you guys. Have a great evening. Oh, it's Thursday, so that means have a great weekend. Do something nice for yourself. Sit down, get something relaxing. I went to the spa last weekend. It was amazing, and I haven't been in a while. Oh my God, I just really needed that. So you guys do something nice for yourself. Doesn't matter what it is, just do something nice. And be productive if you need to be productive. Rest if you need to rest. Whatever. Have a little bit of both, and get ready for this week coming up. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday. All right. Love you guys.